Nicole Diggs, owner and designer of Verse One. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And why don't you tell us what is Verse One?
Verse One Jewelry is a jewelry company for women to basically express your faith and your beliefs and your personal style. It goes with any trend, any style that you have. We have versatile pieces, some for simple people, that they like simple pieces that don't say too much, or people that like to just show off a little bit and just show their style and their personal expression of themselves.
And which one are you?
I'm on the outside, I'm the simple one, but on the inside, I do secretly have a wild kind of. I want to be out there and loud, and so I try to do both.
Okay. Yeah. And are you wearing one of your pieces today?
I am.
Okay.
This is one of my trying to be bold pieces. Usually I try to keep it simple, but today, for the show, I decided to just show a little more.
Okay. And did you make the bracelets and earrings too?
I made this bracelet.
Okay.
I actually made this one recently, and the earrings I made a while back. These are one of my first pieces.
Okay. And so how long ago did you start?
I started making pieces in December of 2010, and I officially started the business in March of 2011, so it's pretty new.
Okay. And you sell your pieces online, or?
I do, yeah.
And how have sales been so far?
Sales have been good. Most of my sales come from word of mouth and doing fashion shows. I've done 2 already, so those have been pretty good. And it was actually a funny story. I'm selling on the spot. I was going to open my business account with a bank and started talking about the business, obviously, and ended up selling 2 pieces to some of the clerks in the bank. So
oh, wow.
That was exciting.
Yeah. That is exciting.
And also sell on my website.
We have 2 of the samples here today, and are these your favorite pieces, or?
They are some of my favorite. This one is one of my favorite because it's one of those. It's different. It's not something that you'll see anyone wearing this on a regular day. So it's kind of I'm trying to make a statement today. Let me wear this. I want to stand out, so let me put this piece on. This piece is one of my favorite because of the reason why I do it. It's because it's, I'm a Christian and it's a faith-based business. So some of my pieces express, faith and hope and peace and stuff like that. So that's one of why I chose to show this one today.
Okay. And I guess that's a good lead into a question we ask everybody on our show is what makes your designs, and in your case your jewelry, inspired, eternally manifested? So where do you pull your inspiration from? How do you let God and the Holy Spirit just influence your design?
I go to the craft store or wherever I buy my pieces from, my tools and everything. And then I'll just stay in there for hours and just look and, let the Holy Spirit speak to me and say, well, maybe you should put this with that because, it'll work this way or that way. I try not to force myself to make things because it's not genuine. So I'm not really inspired if I sit down and say, let me make jewelry today. So I try to do it whenever I get an inspiration, I feel that I want to spend the rest of the night working on jewelry. And sometimes that happens. I'll be up until the middle of the night working on things. And sometimes I'm just not inspired, so I'll just go to bed.
I think that's a really good point to make because in a design, artsy, craftsy kind of industry, it's hard to force yourself to sit down and do something. Even when I'm designing bridal gowns, if I'm not feeling it that day, you just kind of have to let that moment pass and know that it's okay. It doesn't mean that your business is not going to go anywhere. You're just not inspired at that moment. So do you do anything to try and get inspiration, or you just say, oh, it's not right now, let me just go on?
Sometimes I'll just go to the craft store and look at what they have. And this one in particular, I saw this piece here, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it when I saw it. And I didn't have the chain yet, but I saw it. I saw the vision, and I said, well, let me get that. As soon as I saw it, I just wanted to get it, and I knew that it was going to be one of my favorites. So.
Okay. So how long does it usually take to make pieces?
It really just depends on the piece and the inspiration that I have to make it. Some of them take an hour. Some of them can take 5 minutes. If it's really simple, something that I actually see in my head already, before I start making it, it will take 10, 15 minutes to make it. If it's something that I saw a vision but I didn't know how to actually carry it out, or I didn't have the pieces at the time to make it, they could take a couple of days. I might have to work on something, start it one day and then finish it another day. So it just depends. It varies. Yeah.
Okay, so what made you want to start making jewelry?
Well, I've always made jewelry since I was a kid. My mother and I used to make it, but recently I was actually at a fashion show, and a friend of mine had purchased something, and she spent an insane amount of money for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, that's really simple. I could do that, and she just paid that amount of money for it. Why am I not doing this?
Right.
And I've always wanted to own my own business. I went to school for business, so it's in me. That's my passion, to do business. So I said, I have this craft that I can do, and I have a business sense. Why not do it?
Okay. How did you learn how to make the jewelry? Did you take a class or get a book, or you just kind of got in there and figured it out on yourself?
I pretty much just started doing it from watching my mother and us working together. She usually does beading type things. I do more chains and charms and all that kind of stuff.
And how did you come up with the name Verse One?
I came up with the name because I'm a musician as well. So I love music, and usually, well, for me, the first verse of a song is the first thing you always hear, and it determines whether or not you'll keep listening to the song. So I wanted my jewelry to do the same thing. That my jewelry be the first thing you see on someone, and it'll make not that you're going to cast judgment on someone, but it'll keep you looking. It'll keep you interested.
Where do you see Verse One going in the future?
I definitely want to be featured in fashion shows, high fashion magazines. I'd also like to open a boutique, a jewelry boutique.
Okay.
So that's really, where I see the company going. I would like to, travel with it and just go to, high fashion shows and stuff like that.
Okay. And do you make your pieces one of a kind, or do you duplicate some pieces?
I don't duplicate anything. But you might find something that's similar. They might have some of the same charms or some of the same chains that I use. But I guess that's my motto, that everything is handmade. No one else is going to have what you have.
What is your favorite piece to make? Do you like doing bracelets better, or necklaces, or earrings, or no preference?
It's kind of weird because I love earrings. I have tons of earrings. Most of them that I didn't make, that I bought before I started the company. So, but I've had some issues with making earrings, but I love making necklaces, and I have a ton of them. So that's why you'll see more necklaces than anything else.
And how much would you say you have in your inventory right now, like ready to sell?
Probably about 100.
Oh wow, so you've been busy.
Yeah.
So if people want to find out more or buy any of your pieces, where can they find that out at?
You can find more information about Verse One Jewelry at www.verse1jewelry.com. That's Verse, the number 1, jewelry.com.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show today. We're really glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'm enjoying my Verse One jewelry that I have accompanying my outfit today. So thank you again.
Well with you.
It does. Thank you very much.
This week's style tip is for expecting moms. You want to look for clothes that are going to carry you throughout your pregnancy. For example, when shopping for tops, you want to look for shirts that have a lightweight material and a loose fitting sleeve and a lower waistband that's going to accommodate for your growing belly and also hide those imperfections. And you can get these in your normal size. This has been Tammy's Style Tip.